Inevitable garrison. Here we go. Some inevitables have fractured from the remaining garrison, claiming the Inevitables and the Redeemed control the central and eastern patrols portions, while the rest of the Celestials control the western part. The entirety of the Inevitables' efforts is directed towards keeping the evils from the Redeemed and from escaping, and they pay little attention to the creatures that have infiltrated. They are unaware of the conditions and unable to help. Instead, they concentrate on keeping the wards charged, their remaining enslaved. Also, most of the Inevitables do expend energy hunting down creatures that have taken up residence nearby. Thinking these creatures too weak to really concern them, the strategy cost the lives of a few Inevitables who wandered the tunnels alone, so some of the other Celestials are beginning to consider removing these threats. Initially, the Celestial garrison numbered in the hundreds, and the majority of the region and several neighboring regions were made up of quarters of houses, and these troops over the millennia. The garrison has been whittled down to 19 members who occupy a small region in the northern half of the region. The Inevitables pay lip service to the falling orders of Calera, but usually do as they please do. The Inevitables stand an unfailing watch over the wards, so the other Celestials are limited in their criticism, but as time has gone from, the Inevitables have become more and more focused, keeping the wards intact and expense of all the morality of the creatures the Inevitables ally with. The Inevitables continue their chosen course, oblivious to the displeasure of other Celestials. Mystified when anyone speaks against their strategies, the other Celestials now believe they may come to blows with the brethren of things continue in this fashion for another few centuries, for they fear the Inevitables will accept a widget and a wider variety of beings as allies, even if those beings were what the prison was built to contain. Normally, Inevitables called home every few centuries to update their programming, but those in the dungeon have never been recalled. They behave erratically, leading Calaria to fear they may have to be put down violently sometime in the future if nothing can be done to help them. The largest bone of contention between the Inevitables and other Celestials are the Redeemed. The Inevitables have recruited a few of the more compatible inhabitants of the dungeon in the hopes of reforming them and creating a garrison force of the dungeons. The Leonals and Bralani think this is an awful idea, and Bralani have done everything short of sabotage to stop the Inevitables' plan. Despite the disagreement, the Inevitables now have a handful of lawful and neutral creatures working in a group they call the Redeemed. The Inevitables see no goals as being above the duty to guard the wands of the dungeon. If given chance, the Inevitables impress others into their service against their will, including good aligned creatures they stumble across. They are flabbergasted that anyone would refuse the honor and call duty of their watchfulness entails. The members of the garrison and the Redeemed tend to move around a lot between going on patrols and recharging wards, so some of the rooms, what's the percentage chance of finding the inhabitants of that room at home?